Hello, everyone. This is Dorcas Chandler at dorcasgazelle.com. Wow, I haven't been here in a while. People are like, Dorcas, where are you? Well, I've been places, but I'm back and I'm just excited about the things that are happening in my life, and some good, some bad. It's been some ups and downs, but hey, we're making it, and I'm just excited about the next stage, the next level. And when we adopted the theme changes from within, and we started out in let's see, May the 26th 2015. I just was thinking that I'm going to be eating right and exercise, and then I found out it's a lot more to it. Weight is more than food. I adopted that saying, and I put it on the website, Dorcas Gazelle, and I don't think I really knew what I was talking about because, but I really understand now that weight is more than food. But before I get into what I'm going to talk about today, thank you all so much for your outpouring love. Hey, you don't really know how much I needed you in that time. And those of you that responded either by email, phone, YouTube, just so many other different places. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, wherever that is. But really, I'm telling you, I was so grateful for those of you that shared words of encouragement, telephone calls, and just the stuff that you all have shown to me. I mean, the month of May has been really incredible. It was Mother's Day, and I'm not a mother. I never had any kids, but I tell you, this Mother's Day, for a person that's never had any kids, never been married, I got so much stuff. And I mean, beautiful things and cards and money dropping out of cards and checks dropping out of cards and clothes. And I think I told you all about how that, I was a 54 and a half when I first started this journey. I'm down to a 26, and I'm just excited about that because it might be slow, but it's really going, and I'm still on the journey, and I'm still on the path. Went to get my hair done yesterday, and I was talking to the beautician, and she was talking to me about weight and stuff, and she was saying, well, how do you keep going? And I said, the reason why I keep going and the reason why I think I can keep going is because, first of all, because God is keeping me in the race. Second of all, is that I'm talking to people, whether it's in public speaking or on the phone or through the internet, Facebook, just all the different media channels. And I really want to be the right example. I don't want to be telling you one thing and I'm doing something else. So I am just grateful, grateful, grateful. And I hope you've seen my bears on my website. If you haven't, go to dorcasgazelle.com or dorcaschandler.com and it'll take you to the page and you can see my bears. And I just love people deep in my heart. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. But I just want to take a few minutes to talk about weight is more than food and what really happened to me on May the 26th. People want to know, well, what did you do? Because that was my 3-year mark of doing the same thing for 3 years. And I tell you, I didn't do too much of nothing. I just wanted to reflect and see where I came from and just continue on the journey. And when I say continue on the journey is I just want to do whatever that I need to do to move forward. But, and I got some phone calls and I answered a few of them because I knew I had to, or they were going to be talking about me. So I answered a few phone calls, and people loved on me and let me know, Dorcas, we're proud of you. And I thank you for that. And I don't take it lightly, because nobody, my dad always taught us this, nobody has to do nothing for you. And so, anyway, I was just chilling out that day, just kind of retrospecting and looking back and seeing where I've come from, looking at some road maps of what some obstacles and things maybe that I could have did better. I listened to my exercise songs, and I was at the website just doing stuff like that. And so, but as I was laying in the bed later on that evening, and I was just thinking about my life and thinking about weight is more than food. So then, if weight is more than food, why do I have all of this weight if it's more than food? And I've tried to deal with the mental aspect, the exercise part of it, and I really don't talk about that much about food, but I'm eating. And I got a call from my friend. She works at Kaiser the other day, and she was calling me, and she was like, well, Dorcas, do you have any recipes? Really? Dorcas with recipes? Oh my goodness. Every time I tell somebody the things that I'm eating, they think, oh, Dorcas, for real? Give me a break. So you don't want a recipe book from me, but I can tell you this, that I am eating healthy, and I like what I eat. I can tell you this one thing that I eat, and then I'm going to move on. The other night I had some baby carrots, and I was telling my friend Judy that brings my grocery, I said, you should try some baby carrots with some mustard on them. I mean, it's a great snack. She was looking at me, really? And I said, yeah. And you know what she told me? She said, you know what, Dorcas, I'm going to try that. Now, my friends that know me, when I tell them stuff like that, they're like, oh, no, Dorcas, they're not even going to try it. So I was just so glad to tell somebody something that is really nutritious, and it really tastes good. And if you want crunch in your life, you want to eat something at night like a snack, like my snacks. I eat baby carrots. I eat apples and just different things like that, because I'm trying to be healthy. I'm really trying to be healthy. No, I am being healthy. That's a better statement. So while I'm doing this and trying to figure out, okay, weight is more than food, then why is it that that's the part that we look at the most? We're looking at people that have weight. And I was in the beauty shop the other day, and the lady was saying that, my beautician was saying that, a lot of times people say, oh, I don't eat a lot. And she said, really? And I said, you know what? I said, that could very well be a true statement. Because a lot of times, because you see me fat, you think I'm eating a dozen of eggs and I'm eating a lot of things. But you can be with weight and not overeat. Now, most people don't believe that, because they think food makes you fat. Wrong foods make you fat. Hear what I'm saying? Not enough food will make you fat or overweight, whichever one makes you feel good. And I'm going to tell you what else make you overweight. Is when we're dealing with stress, that will make us overweight. And when we don't get enough sleep. But I want to deal with the stress element, the trigger part, because what happened to me, I was dealing on May 26th. We have to kind of look at ourselves and see, okay, how can I be better? And I'm always trying to be better. You might not believe it, but really I am. And so I was just dealing with, okay, you get offended easy. Dorcas gets offended easy. Where does that come from? You get offended very easy. Okay? Now I know that. But where is the trigger? Where is the emotion? Where is that emotion coming from? So when I start walking back and looking at my life, and I was by that time I was in the bed, I was just laying there, and I thought about things that have hurt me, things that have disappointed me, things that I have not understood, things that have made me cry. And a lot of times when we don't deal with these emotions, we will walk in being offended. So when somebody pushes a trigger button in our life, and what a trigger is, they can say something that will remind you of something that somebody else did to you. And a lot of times we will step over into something and react and respond based upon what they said, which really ain't had nothing to do with them, but something that's in your psyche, your emotions, inside of your spirit. So I was laying there and my mind went back to my school. And my school is still packed in my closet, my walk-in closet, and I've told that before. But this is the point that God was dealing with me about. And every time I say I'm going to unpack, I'm going to get rid of stuff, I don't do it. I keep the door closed. So what is there, Dorcas, that's hindering you from going to the next level? See, we want to go to the next level, but sometimes we can't go to the next level because we want to keep taking the junk with us. And so I just was retrospecting back on what happened with my school. I loved my job. You know, we had the welfare to work contract for California, and we were training people, and everything was just good. And then all of a sudden, this little boy, and I'm not going into all this because I'm going somewhere else, this 15-year-old little boy drives the car through my school, through the wall, and he comes right to the desk, and he almost kills me. Now, I've dealt with all of that. I'm cool with all of that. But then this is the trigger point. So I'm laying there in the bed and I'm like, but yeah, he ran through my school. And yeah, when the police, they did the police report. And then when my insurance wanted to get him for attempt of vehicle manslaughter because they were trying to get their money, and I said no and I refused, and then they end up canceling my insurance. I had to get another insurance thing. I'm dealing with all the surface. On the 26th of 2018, I just heard in my spirit, but how do you feel about that little boy? I never dealt with the little boy. And so when I thought about the little boy, I said, he took my life away. In other words, I'm doing something that I love, and then here comes this little boy turning on the car, running through the thing, and now a point where I have back problems. I had to go out to the doctor that my insurance sent me to this older man just jacking my back up, so it felt like that. And when I start dealing with the little boy, I start feeling like he took something from me. And do you know that that's an emotion that I have never ever dealt with? He took something from me. Something that I love was taken from me by a 15-year-old little boy. And once I dealt with that, and I'm still dealing with it, but I realize, Dorcas, when you think that somebody is coming up against you or taking something from you, you react and respond in a negative way. What are you saying, Dorcas? Our weight, and that weight could be physical weight, it could be mental weight, it could be just spiritual weight. Because a lot of times spiritually we don't really deal with that. But sometimes we're mad at God because our lives are not turning out the way that we anticipated or we planned them to be. And then I start looking at all the things that offend me. I've been offended for being in Arizona. I've been offended because, my parents are gone and they were my family. I never had any kids. I've never had a husband. And God, what's wrong with me? Have you ever wondered what's wrong with me? Why can't I get that job? Why nobody will ever like me? Why they don't like me? Why I don't fit in? Why am I so different? Why do I look at the world differently than everybody else? Weight is more than food. And so, what God was showing me, you got to get out of being offended by things that have happened in your life. And there's some very personal and hard things in my life that I've been really offended by. And sometimes people will say, forgive me, and we'll say, okay. But if the pain is there and if the hurt is real, even though we say, okay, it's in our psyche. And so when it comes back up again, we tend to respond and react in a negative way. If we're going to move to another level, because we're in a new year, we're almost going into another new year, and we want to deal with our weight. Whether it's the weight, the physical weight, like I said, whatever kind of weight's in our mind. Because things are not happening the way that we want them to happen. Or they have not happened. What is wrong with me that nobody loves me? Is it because I'm fat? Is it because I'm different? Is it because I'm ugly? Is it because I speak out of turn? Is it because I'm like my father? What has to happen is as we go toward our goals, our dreams, and our vision. I'm writing a book. My last book, I'm hoping. And it's just showing me who I am. And it's called Beauty. I'm going to tell you what the name of my book is. I wasn't going to tell you. It's called Beautiful Beneath the Fat. F-A-T. Beautiful Beneath the Fat. Because what God has shown me was, Dorcas, you're beautiful. When you weighed over 400 pounds, you were still beautiful. When you weighed over 400 pounds, you were faithful. And that stands for the F. When you were over 400 pounds, you was affectionate. You cared about people. You had compassion. You still have compassion, even though you've lost weight. When you were over 400 pounds, the T stands for you are tender-hearted. People can touch you. And that's why they seek after you. You are tender-hearted. You are tenacious. You are tough. And that's why you have stood test after test after test. Because God is with me and my personality, God has made me Dorcas. And what I'm trying to say, no matter who you are, don't sell yourself short because of things that are in your spirit. Look inside yourself. Walk backwards in your life. If you keep stumbling over the same thing. I keep stumbling over the same thing. Why they don't understand what I'm talking about? I just said this and it blows into a whole storm, firestorm. Those things hurt me deeply. because I'm trying to say one thing and it never comes out right. Did you hear what I just said? I said it never comes out right. So if that's my thinking, guess what? It will continually never come out right. What I have to realize, I said it. Did I say it in the right way? If I didn't say it in the right way, get it straight. If I said it in a right way, then I have to move on. We have to watch what's coming out of our mouth, because what's coming out of our mouth is coming from out of our heart. And we have to allow God to get inside of us, changes from within, so that we can be better people, so that when I lose the weight that I'm losing, and God knows I don't want to be skinny, I want to be healthy. And there's a long ways I got to go to do that, and I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep doing it, rather. But what I'm saying is that we have to watch what we're saying to get to the next level. If it's your marriage, if it's your children, if you're speaking words out of your mouth and saying, they're no good, they're lazy, they don't want to work, and you're saying, my husband, he gets on my nerves, and you're getting on the phone with your girlfriend, or you're talking to your boyfriend, or whatever you're doing, I can't stand this job, and we're just talking all this trash out, trash in. So what is your new goal, Dorcas? You're running out of time. My new goal this year is to ask God, Lord, put a watch over my mouth. And something happened to me at my doctor's office, and I was very hurt. But I told God, I said, God, I wasn't going to go back. And then I decided, I didn't decide. God told me, I felt like God was telling me to go back. You don't have to defend truth. You never have to defend truth. And so sometimes, and that was one of the times I felt like I was misunderstood, I said, you know what? You got to change the way you think. Sometimes you have to walk right back in that storm, or right back into that situation. And then you can't go back in there trying to prove nothing, or looking for nobody to do nothing for you, or looking for no apology. You just walk in there because what you're doing, you're saying, God, change me. I'm not interested in you changing them unless they need to be changed. But right now, I'm working on Dorcas. Weight is more than food. I learned that this time. And watching what comes out of my mouth, and understanding that when I get offended, I need to find the trigger point and ask God to help me to change. Because I'm going to tell you something. You cannot change yourself. That's what the lady was asking me at the beauty shop. You can't change yourself. You can get your hair cut. You can get it dyed. I got both of them done. Your hair may have been gray, and now it's brown. But you can change the color of your hair. You can change your weight. But the only person that can change your personality is Jesus Christ himself. We cannot change ourselves. He has to give us the formula to help us change. And I'm telling you, once we submit to him and ask him, God, help me, I promise you, he will. You may have been molested. You may not know who your parents are. You might know who your parents are and don't like them. I don't know. But what I do know, change can come from within. Hey, we're on a journey and we're gonna make it. And my songs, I was listening to them and push your foot up against mine, and that was simply because what we're saying is that we want to support each other. I was telling somebody this morning, we cannot make it on our own. I need you. I do. And if you don't need me, okay, but I need you. And I need God to survive. I love you. I hope you got something out of this recording, and I'm going to be back. In fact, I'm back. I just have some people coming in town, just some different things, but I am back. And we're going to keep talking, and we're going to talk through this thing. And I appreciate your comments. And if you want to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, do so. Changes from Within. Or you could just go Google Dorcas Chandler at YouTube, and our YouTube channel will come up, and subscribe to us. We're not doing it for a money thing. We're just trying to get the word out. We're just trying to help those of us be better. Hey, okay? I'm gone. Until next time. And again, thank you all so much for loving me. This has been Dorcas Chandler at DorcasGazelle.com. Bye-bye.